All right, welcome. We have another Interpres Insider here. I've got Will Long, CEO and founder of Infinity Cyber Advisors. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on, David.
Love it. All right, so we're going to talk pen test, okay? And I think, I'll play the dummy here for a second. Pen test, what's the point of a pen test, right? You want to be able to show what it would look like if an attacker really attacked you, right? That's kind of the idea. People could argue with that, but we'll go with it. So how about scoping those things, right? So, I've had experience, I'm sure you have as well, where a lot of times the alignment between the scope of what they come in and try to do and the scope of what you've been working on with vulnerability and configuration and detection logic, those things don't match up. Talk to me about how we can make that better.
Absolutely. I find in really complex, highly regulated industries and networks, some of these pen tests are kind of shots in the dark, and they're shooting all over the place trying to find those vulnerabilities you have and exploit those things. And it can lead to maybe focusing in the wrong areas. Not that they don't find things that need to be fixed, but the question really at the end of the day, is that what the bad actors would target, right? Is that really what they're going after? And having a more threat-informed view of how do you start and scope those pen tests could actually yield you a lot better results.
All right, so when we talk about that, the scoping aspect of things, I'm over here, I'm working in my Interpres tool. I know that here are my top threats that are facing my industry specific, and and we talk about the pen test kind of scattershot situation. How can I mold that in a way that is still meaningful, right? That still meets the spirit of the requirement.
Right. Well, you can focus your pen test team. They can do their scattershot approach and look for things that maybe you don't know about. But you can also include in that scope, you can now take your biggest threats in your industry and use Interpres to inform the pen test team. I want specific searches for this particular threat and what the bad actors are doing with that threat. What are the campaigns that are going on right now? And you can get a much more informed pen test by looking at what are the bad actors in that particular industry, rather than kind of doing an all industry, all threats, all vulnerability kind of scattershot approach to pen tests. You can now use Interpres to actually focus that team and have them test for those particular threats. And then they can focus their skills on how do we exploit that, just like the bad actors.
And final question. Can I use this to maybe inform where I invest my dollars?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So once you find out from the pen tests and your prioritization, you will now be able to invest your dollars wisely and match up against what the threats are that are really coming at you.
Love it, love it. All right, gang, that was another Interpres Insider. Join us again. More info coming.